Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another homeschooling favorites. It has been a while since I've shared some of my favorite things in our homeschool as of late. I used to do these quarterly, but I just found that I don't like forcing a timeline on these. I just like to share as I authentically gather some things that we're genuinely loving instead of working on a timetable. So it's been a little bit of time, but I have quite a few things that I'm excited to share with you guys today that we have been loving in our homeschool. Before I get into the video, I wanted to thank World Watch News for partnering with me on today's video. Not only are they today's video sponsor, but they are also my first homeschooling favorite. So my kids love World Watch News. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them, and then I'm gonna show you the other favorites we have right now in our homeschool. Today's video is in partnership with World Watch News, and if you have been here on my channel for the last couple of years, then you know that we love World Watch in our homeschool. World Watch News is a daily news program that's produced by Christian journalists. If you're familiar with World News Group, you might know World Magazine or God's Big World Magazine or World Teen Magazine. We actually subscribed to those magazines for years before we started streaming World Watch News, and even growing up, my dad always had World Magazine at our house. So I have a long relationship with World News Group, and I'm so glad that they're producing this for kids right now. My kids absolutely love World Watch News. It is a 10-minute news program. It covers all sorts of topics from current events. There are some science topics, world culture topics, economics, there's history, government stuff mixed in, some art stuff, technology segments. This not only delivers current events in a digestible way for kids, but it also mixes in some fun additional segments and really just sparks curiosity. World Watch News says we can't keep your kids from growing up too quickly, but we can help them grow into humans equipped with news literacy and biblical discernment and make it fun too. So with a World Watch subscription, you get 250 10-minute episodes per year. So these air each weekday, and they're very recent. So for example, the Queen of England recently passed away the very next day. That was the headline news story. And so it's helping my kids stay up to date on current events. They're able to hear conversations that are happening and know what's going on, but it's been presented in a way that doesn't force opinion. And it's just presented in a package that is more digestible for their age. But I will say they don't avoid big, heavy topics either. A lot of times there is a disclaimer, like, just so you know, parents, this is in today's top story. And I really appreciate that heads up. It helps me know, what my kids are going to be listening to. And I can either prepare myself to talk about this or say, today we're not going to watch the news because we're not quite ready to explain this particular story yet. In most cases, I appreciate the assistance of World Watch News helping me explain current events to my children. It's a very great resource if you want your kids to stay up to date and you want help in tackling some of these heavy hitters and things that are going on in our world right now. You're getting a program that builds news literacy, critical thinking, and biblical discernment. It's seamless streaming from your phone, tablet, Roku, or Apple TV using the app, which is so helpful. There are segmented features, news briefs, and explainers for educational use. And then my favorite part, it gives me chills every single time. They end every program saying, remember, whatever the news, the purpose of the Lord will stand. And I just think that's such a wonderful way to remind kids as they're learning new things and they're hearing about news stories that, remember, whatever the news, the purpose of the Lord will stand. So we watch this every day at lunchtime in our homeschool. We actually last year would watch it with our morning basket time. But I learned very quickly that because this is the most highly requested part of our school day, if I save it for lunch, everyone gets their stuff done diligently because they're looking forward to watching that news program. This is something that they love sharing with John when he gets home from work. We sit around the table, share parts of our day. Everyone wants to talk about the news. Quite often we re-stream it when he's home because they just want to watch it with him. It's great, 10 minutes, and they're all, getting to enjoy it again together, talking about different things with him. Super enjoyable. They've gotten to know the anchors and they, have little banter like, oh, this is this guy and that's that guy and so got a pie in the face, and they just enjoy it so much. And as a parent, I really trust this company. And like I said, if you've been around here for a while, then you know that we've used this for quite some time and I stand behind it. We really enjoy it. You can try World Watch for free for 1 month using my link in the description box down below. Do you like World Watch News? Yeah. Do you like watching it with lunchtime?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember what they say at the end?
Whatever the news is the purpose of the Lord.
Whatever the news, the purpose of the Lord will stand. Amen. So thank you so much, World Watch, for sponsoring today's video. We really do love World Watch. It is probably my older kids' most favorite part of their school day. It is definitely the thing that they share most frequently with my husband when he gets home from work. And I just love that World News Group has been a part of my life for the majority of my life, not only in my childhood and in my parents' lives, but also for my children. It's just such a wonderful resource all around for all ages. So I'm so excited about World Watch News and just what that's done for my kids and what element that has brought to our homeschool. So make sure you guys check out the link down below, and I am excited to see if you guys like it, and I hope you do give it a try in your homeschool. It'll spark some really wonderful discussions. Okay, I'm going to move on to games. I know that's what you guys love most about my homeschooling favorites videos. So I've got some games, I've got some books, and then I have some additional resources. So first up is Teacup Pile Up. I know that you guys know I am a huge fan of educational insights. If you have the Pancake Pile Up game, this one is very similar. It is like a fine motor skill game. They run around and grab teacups and come back to stack them in order. It's simple rule following. There's a lot of movement involved. There's a little bit of patterning necessary, like patterns and organization involved, but mostly it's just so much fun. So the way this works is they pick a card. Let me see if I can get this to focus. There we go. You pick a card and you lay it out. And then you put out your little trays for your teacups. And then you run back and forth and you grab pieces to stack in order of the card. And then it is a little topsy-turvy, so sometimes it'll fall down. You can only grab one piece at a time. You have to remember what the next one is. And then when you're done, you find the bell. Oh, okay, literally it's the teacup, or the teapot. This is the bell, I forgot. So when they're done stacking their teacups, they ring the bell. And this has been a great one for Annabeth. She is 5 years old. Her siblings play this with her. They get quite competitive. I'm the only one who goes easy on her with this game. It's so fun, it's so cute. Just like the Pancake Pile Up game, very similar to it. And because my other kids love the Quick Cups game, which is similar, it's like stacking quickly and then ringing the bell, this has been really great, a really great version of that game for her, because that one is way too difficult for her to do and race us. So this is a cute one, lots of movement, a great way to connect with my 5-year-old in the middle of a school day and just kind of do something different. Another game that she has been loving lately, and I actually really enjoy playing with her too. For some reason, we've been in the habit of playing this game while I'm having my morning coffee. She's one of my earliest risers, and so we sit down and play this game. This is the shopping list game by Orchard Toys. It's really simple. It's just a memory game. It's not memory match. I thought it was memory matching game when I first got it. It's just a memory game. So you grab a shopping list, and there's 4 different shopping lists, and then you also grab either a shopping cart or a shopping basket, but they all have 8 little squares on them to match the 8 items on your shopping list. And then you've got these individual tiles that have the different ingredients on your shopping list, and you just have to, they're all flipped over. You just flip one over and it's either yours or it's not, and you flip it back, just like memory matches where you're flipping 2 over. With this, you're just flipping 1 over, and if it's yours, you put it in your shopping cart. If it's not, you don't. And it's just a game you can play multiple rounds of in just a few minutes. My kids really enjoy this game. They love playing it with her, and it's just sweet. I don't know, I love sometimes these really simple games. They're just so fun and enjoyable instead of games that have so many rules and there's like a real competitive edge. This one's half memory, half luck, and it's just an enjoyable way to connect together and do a little bit of memory matching game while I'm having coffee in the morning. The next game I have to show you is this Logic Roots Say Cheese Cafe game. This is a multiplication game. You guys know I love Logic Roots games, and so this was one of the very few that I didn't own yet. So this one comes with a few different ways to play. There's cooperative. Hold on a second, Brizzos. Everyone say hi, Brizzo. Hey, buddy. He's like, what am I interrupting? Okay. You can either play this in a cooperative way or you can play this competitively. Wow, we're having some bloopers happening here, but I'm just gonna keep rolling because the baby's sleeping and my time is limited. So, hi Brizzo, hair is out of my mouth now. Gonna keep going. So, what was I saying? You can either play this in a cooperative way, which is a simpler way to play, or you can play this competitively. There's some difficult ways to play it competitively. You have these little number tiles, these little cheese tiles, and then you also have an advanced pack if you're playing one of the more competitive games. You have these little bags that they put their little cheese pieces in. There's a spinner, and then there's the food basket here, and then there's also a waste basket. And essentially you just play this by finding numbers that are in the same times table. So if you say the number 3, everyone looks through, and for one of the easier ways to play, you just find all the pieces of cheese that match that times table. Or if you are playing it competitively, you pull one out of your bag at random and you either say it is or it isn't a match. If it is, you say the complete times table, and then you get to keep all of the food in the basket. If it's not a match, then you put it in the basket, and so the person who wins is the one who has collected the most pieces of cheese out of the food basket. So we always could use some reinforcement of multiplication skills in our house. If I'm being honest with you, teaching multiplication is one of the major gaps in the way that I've taught my children. There was like a little bit of a gap in the way I used to teach math when I would cross 2 different programs over. Multiplication was a missing link, and so even still for my older kids, I've been helping reinforce their multiplication facts just as often as possible, just to really cement them, because I didn't really help them much in that transition of memorizing those facts to where it's super quick for them. We didn't do a lot of like number drilling when they were younger. The next one I have, sorry, I just opened it without showing you, is this Logic Roots Math Builder. This came in a bundle with the Say Cheese game. The best way I can explain this is this game is like Scrabble with math problems. So you have this board here, and again, you can play this in a cooperative way or a competitive way. The cooperative way to play it is to keep building math problems until you connect 2 rivers together. The competitive way to play it is to use up all your tiles first, just like it would be with Scrabble. So you have all these different number tiles, and then you also have like, you've got a little bag that has equal signs. It's got times tables, you know, the time symbol, things like that. Here they are. It's got addition, subtraction. So you can really mix this up and use multiple different forms of math, which is great when we've got kids who are learning addition and who are working on dividing at the same time. So that Math Builder game is a fun one. I had my eye on this for a while. I couldn't quite figure out on their website how it was played, but like I said, there's a few different ways to play, and it has been an enjoyable one to pull out every now and then on a family game. The last game I have to share with you is another one by Orchard Toys. It's called Bus Stop. This is a simple addition and subtraction game. I always say this, my youngest daughter, Annabeth, is no longer my youngest daughter, but my youngest school-age daughter, my kindergartner, has been working on addition and subtraction now with her Charlotte Mason math. And so I just love reinforcing skills in different ways. And so when my kids are working on multiplication or division or addition or subtraction, we pull out a lot of math games and we play them. So this is a fun one. It's an introduction to addition and subtraction. It's very simple. If you have kids who are struggling with the concept, this is a great way to do it. Okay, there's a lot of pieces to explain this game, and I don't want to set the whole game up, but basically you build your town with this little path here, and as you can see, there's some plus and some minus signs along the way. So what you do is everyone has their little bus and their little matching card here. You roll the dice, and then you go that many spaces, and you either land on an addition or a subtraction. And then you have the spinner. So you land on that spot, you spin the spinner, and it tells you how many people you're either letting on or off your bus. And the person who has the most amount of people, there's these little people tiles that you can pick out and put them on your bus. The person who has the most when they get all the way around town left on their bus is the winner. So it's all about making it, it's not just about making it to the end faster, but it's about having the most on your bus at the end of the game. So that's a fun one, and it's really helped reinforce those very basic addition and subtraction skills for Annabeth. All right, I'm gonna move on to some books now. I'm so excited to tell you guys about this book if you don't already know about it. So this was a recommendation from one of my girlfriends last year, but I was in like a I can't even look at a new thing season last year, so I waited until this year. But this year I am teaching nature study in our Charlotte Mason co-op, and so I wanted a curriculum to use instead of just teaching nature study in general or having the kids do their own nature study, because we only meet twice a month, and so I thought that teaching nature study in a group setting would be a good way to teach specific aspects of nature journaling and then allowing them to do nature study casually in their own time. For example, you know, I don't want my kids to only nature journal twice a month, and so I just thought it would be nice to use that 45-minute slot I have to teach nature to teach them specific skills that they can utilize and practice for the 2 weeks before we meet again. This Charlotte Mason group is an enrichment co-op, so it's not supposed to it's just supposed to enrich what we're already doing at home. So most of us, I think all of us, are already doing nature journaling with our kids, and so this is just a way to spruce it up a little bit. So this is the perfect thing to have added to our nature study. This is not made to teach in a group setting. This is just something that can enhance your own nature journaling or to teach your children if you want to. You don't even have to be a homeschooler to love this book. This is an amazing book. It has taught me so much already, and I've only been using it for about 6 weeks now. So this is How to Teach Nature Journaling, Curiosity, Wonder, Attention by John Muir Laws and Emily Ligren. It's seriously, I'm like gushing about this book. Maybe I'll do a sample lesson for you guys, just so I can do like a little bit more of a flip through and talk about it a little bit longer. But this, I will say, this has been the missing link for me with doing nature study with my kids. I have used other nature study curriculums like Exploring Nature with Children and some different nature journaling that I do love. But this is one that's teaching me skills and my children skills to use outside of our school year or nature study time. So yes, which one do I want to talk about? Basically, this just teaches you how to nature journal. So I'll go ahead and tell you about the last 2 lessons I did with the kids. The first one was called I Notice, I Wonder, It Reminds Me Of. And it's one of the introductory lessons. Teaches them how to use pictures and numbers and how to look a little bit beyond, say, just a leaf that they found or a pine cone they found. So the lesson taught you how to write about what you notice, what you wonder, and the things that it reminds you of. It just gave you so much more information about how to take your observations a little bit deeper. And then it gives discussion questions toward the end of each lesson that you can really pull out more information from the kids and get them to share more. And then the last lesson I did was called Zoom In, Zoom Out. So that one taught the kids how to it taught me how to teach the kids how to draw something in life size, and then how to zoom in and look at it at a microscopic level, zoom out and look at it at a distance and kind of notice the ecosystem of where that object fell or was growing, and kind of look at the why. How did it get to this spot? Look at the area around it. I would have never thought to zoom out when we're nature studying, only zoom in. And then it taught you how to journal and how to like point arrows at things and draw a closer look, and how to pull back and point to something from a distance, and how to keep it all just in one location on one page in your journal, which was so great. So this has really taught my kids and I so much more. It's really spruced up what we're wanting to do. Here's an example of the zoom in, zoom out. Let me see. So this would be the object at life size, and then the zoomed in view, they point an arrow to a piece of it and show it at a microscopic level, or how it looked with a, what is it called? Magnifying glass. And then the zoom out, they pointed an arrow and taught you how to show the object at a distance. And then there's places for notes for each idea. So for this one, we did the zoom in, zoom out, and we also used the I notice, I wonder. It reminds me of lesson that we had done prior. And if you'll see, here's the intro page, the zoom in, zoom out lesson. It gives you materials, length of time, teaching notes, procedure summary, a demonstration, and then the next couple of pages is all about the lesson. So it's got the step-by-step procedure, and then it gives you like some troubleshooting notes, like if your kids aren't saying anything, then ask them this question. It's got some general discussion, structure and function, scale, proportion and quantity, cause and effect, follow-up activities, reflections. It's amazing. I love this book so much. So if you're teaching nature or leading a nature study, or you just want to get your kids to think a little bit more deeply, or even you do with your own children, this is wonderful. My favorite thing is it teaches them to combine drawing with notes, numbers, and just having a lot of reflections to look back on, because up until this point, the only nature journaling we do is just kind of drawing something, and my kids wrote limited notes, and so this has been really helpful to move beyond that, especially for my kids who aren't artistically inclined and are more of wanting to write notes and take field notes instead of just focusing on coloring a picture. Okay, the next books I have to share with you are the Celebrate the States series. This is from Usborne Books and More. I know that I showed you Animals of the USA and Spirit of the USA in a haul, probably in the spring, I wanna say. But I recently grabbed Marvels of the USA in an order that I didn't do a video for. And so I wanted to tell you guys about these because this has just been so fun for my kids. All of my kids like these books. So Animals of the USA, celebrate the amazing animals of the USA with this boredom-busting activity book packed with 50 brain teasers, puzzles, quizzes, and fun creative tasks. You'll make up a new salamander species, learn how to draw a hummingbird, crack codes to work out impressive animal facts, color a flight of monarch butterflies, and lots more. Along the way, you'll discover all about the animals, big and small, that call the USA home, from bison, bears, and banana slugs to wolves, whales, and woolly worms. So that's a fun one. Let me show you a little bit inside. I want to make sure I'm not showing you my kids' work because I'm going to be sensitive to that. But here are just a couple of examples of what the inside of this looks like. It's just so fun. Really colorful. Spirit of the USA, same concept, celebrate the unique culture of the USA with this boredom-busting activity book. Same thing, brain teasers, puzzles, etc. So you'll pan for gold in California, write a postcard from a UFO, design the Kentucky Derby jockeys jerseys, form your own Nashville band, and lots more. So again, this one you'll learn about the people, places, music, history, sports, food, and folklore that make the USA what it is today. Ooh, sorry, it's been done already. So here are a few pages that have not been done. Let's see. Just to give you an example. And then this one I'm so excited about. I haven't actually given this one to my kids yet. I just pulled this out of the box, but I was really thrilled to find this. So same deal, celebrate some of the greatest sights of the USA. This one you'll choose your own hometown marvel, crack a code to escape from Alcatraz, write about a diamond discovery, match famous landmarks to their cities, and lots more. So this one you'll learn about the attractions of the USA, from skyscrapers, historic sites and amusement parks, volcanoes, glaciers, and record-breaking trees. So this one, I love these books. Maybe I was just a sucker for a good activity book growing up. My kids really love these though, and I cannot have enough activity books. I just think they're so fun. And they're such a help to me as a homeschooling mom to be able to hand them something that's already ready for them to just do and write in and learn and have fun with. Next, I have Wonderful. If you guys remember, we did Theology last year, and so this year we're doing Wonderful. This teaches about the Psalms. How many lessons are there? There are, let's see, I don't know, I can't do a quick count on this. I mean, there's about as many lessons as there are Psalms, but some of them are grouped together. So this one goes through a little story about finding like a secret book, and then it goes through each individual Psalm and teaches you information about it, how to pray through it, how you can use this in your life. It's got like some stories that go along with it. And this is what we're using as a family devotional with breakfast in the mornings. And I really like this. I feel like theology is more well known than wonderful. So I wanted to share this with you guys because these two books have been great for my kids' ages, even though they span, I mean, to be honest, they've been great for me too, just to pause and focus on the Psalms specifically, instead of just reading quickly through them. Sometimes when I read Psalms, they can all seem the same to me. So this is nice because it's slowing down, looking at each one individually, and then applying it to our lives. So I've enjoyed this book very much with my children. The next book I have is Window on the World. This is one that we're using along with the geography group meeting that we've been doing with friends this year. It's an Operation World Prayer resource. It goes through every country in the world and talks about ways you can pray for the country. It gives you some information about it. There's a fact file, and then like a did you know. Just talks a lot about these different countries that we may not otherwise even know about. I mean, they go through literally every country from what I can tell. And this has been a wonderful addition to Hungry Planet and Material World, which we already have enjoyed very much. Just bringing in a spiritual element to that, ways you can pray for this culture, this people group. And it's just been a neat way to look at different countries. So like I said, we're using this in like a geography way with friends, but I've also kept it in our morning basket because we pull from it every now and then just to learn a little bit more about different countries. So I definitely recommend this. This is a great morning basket addition. If you're looking for something to spruce up your morning basket this fall, this is really fun and just a different layer that you can add to your morning basket. So we've really enjoyed this. Speaking of morning basket, I've kept this 365, or my year of writing, which is 365 creative writing activities in our morning basket this year. I'm not using this in the traditional way where you start January 1st and go through the whole year. I'm just using this for my kids to pull out and do a little bit of little miniature creative writing prompts. So this is just full of different fun little mini creative writing prompts. And this is another one from Usborne. They have my year of writing, my year of nature, my year of art. Now they have my year around the world, which is amazing. And there's my year of drawing. I think those are the 5 365 activity books they have. I have a few of them, but I went with my year of writing to put in our morning basket just to give the kids something to do while they're waiting for everyone to get to the morning basket or in between activities to break it up a little bit. And it's just fun. Write down 5 things that make you smile. List some things that make you think of fall. Make a poem out of your name first. Write your name vertically so it's like an acrostic poem. Imagine you're an ogre. What's your favorite snack? Write an invitation to a party you would like to have. Don't forget to say when and where it is and what will happen. Let's see. You're at a starting line about to run a race. Show how you're feeling by describing your physical reactions and movements. For instance, is your heart racing? Are you standing still? So this has been a wonderful addition for my kids to our morning basket. And again, it just brings something to the table that I might not be doing already, like fun creative writing prompts. So highly recommend this. Next, this one is for you, although it will greatly benefit your children, but this is Your Questions Answered, Narration by Sonia Schaefer. I got this at the Simply Charlotte Mason retreat in 2021 because I wanted to go a little bit more in depth with narration, especially with my older children. Coincidentally, at the 2022 retreat, there was a whole session on narration, so I feel like we've really gotten a lot of help with our narration here lately, but especially if you have older kids, this is a great resource. There's wonderful resources in here for just starting narration in general, no matter how old your kids are. But this is a great, if you feel like you've kind of lost some time with narration or you're just starting the art of narration and you have older kids, this is a wonderful way to just give you some wisdom and advice and help you out. So I'm trying to find the table of contents. Here you go. So there's 5 steps to successful narration and then narration Q&A. So the why, the simplest way, setting them up for success, the long and short of it, narration with multiple children, beginning with younger children, beginning with older children, written narration, raising the bar, narration in high school. Then there's an index of questions answered, and then there's a bunch of narration tips at the end. I actually have 2 places tabbed in here to flip open to some quick narration questions. So the one that I have tabbed first are just general narration ideas. So there are some 29 speaking ideas, 17 writing, 6 drawing, 5 drama, and 3 building ideas. And then if I flip to this other page I have tabbed, this is narration questions that Charlotte uses, and it goes by grade. So 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, and 10 to 12. And then there's tons of resources for the 10th through 12th grade. So this has just brought a different layer to my narration, because most of the time I'll just be like, okay, tell me back what I just said, or, you know, give me a written narration of what we just read. And so this has just taken us that much further with our narration, and I really appreciate that resource. Okay, so the last book I have to show you is this Little Helpers Grocery Day Sort and Play. My 5-year-old is a huge fan of a book and a lap. She loves sitting down with John or I in the evenings, well, really any time of day, but we try to make time in the evening, and she loves reading books, but she also likes the interactive books. So if it's the Lift the Flap books or Search and Find books, and these Little Helpers books, well, I'm sure they're marketed, yeah, ages 3 and up toward younger kids. They're so cute. So we have this Little Helpers Grocery Day Sort and Play. We also have the Laundry Day Sort and Play. So in this one, you have this little book, this little flap that stores all the pieces, and you're going to the grocery store, and then it's got these felt strips where they can put those little felt pieces on as you go through. So fruits and vegetables piled high, what's on your list today? Then it says 2 red apples and 3 green pears. Let's put them on the scale to weigh. So she goes through and finds them and puts them on the scale. I just love things like this. We'll need some bread, and it tells you how much bread to get. And here's like a little felt cart. You go to the bakery, you're getting the right type of cereal, the right type of honey. It tells you exactly what you want to get in each thing. And so they go through the little felt pieces and put them on there. It's just so cute. Usborne has a lot of interactive books. We've got these ones, there's, like I said, the Lift the Flap books, there's the little Search and Find books, there's a cute set that I probably showed you in that haul of like you're going to the bookstore, you're going to the grocery store, you're going to the farmer's market, and you're checking things that are on your list. And then there's the books with the stickers, like the Little Bear Needs Glasses, or the Time to Brush book, where you match the toothbrushes with each person with little reusable stickers. But I love these books. I think the little felt pieces just make it so cute and fun. So this is a new one. I think it was at least new to us, but I'm fairly certain it's a newer release. So I wanted to tell you guys about it because I just love things that make it easy to sit down and have some quality time with my younger ones, because I do feel like in this season of homeschooling, I'm so focused on my older middle school kids because they have so much more work to do. And so little books like that just make life so easy to grab a book and sit down and have some quality time. So that was all the books I had to show you. And now I'm just gonna show you some random resources, some stuff for mom, some subjects we're enjoying, things like that. Okay, my last little stack of stuff here. So first of all, my older 2 kids this year have been loving their middle school literature courses. So they're in a middle school literature survey, and those are each a semester long. So unfortunately for that one, the next semester won't be opening up for registration for about another month, but they are loving this so much. This is actually one that's run by a friend of mine. I'll link the video up here if you want to learn more about this course, or I'll put a link down below to her website. But last month they were doing Rudyard Kipling, and they were reading Rikki Tikki Tavi, and they had writers chair discussions, and they had Zoom classes, and also some fun work during the week. This month they're doing Mark Twain, and I think my favorite thing about this is just seeing my older 2 kids connect, work on their work a little bit during the week. It's a family purchase, so if you buy into this program, then it's the same cost for whether one student or many students. So I've really enjoyed seeing my kids work on this together. And then my 6th grade son, it's been amazing to watch him really come into his own by having those Zoom classes. I didn't realize just how much he needed the community feel to discussions. My older daughter is really confident in sharing her writing and in sharing her work and discussing things. My son needs a little boost of having more kids his age, and so this has been such an answer to prayer for us. So that's for middle schoolers specifically. And then The other course that they're signed up for is her first 8-week writing course. There's 4 of those courses throughout the year, and I just got all the information in my email for them to start on that creative writing course. And like I said, there's 4 of those, so I'll let you guys know when signups are open for the next course to start. But if you're interested, I would say follow along with her so that you can see when she's offering signups for the next classes. So there's 4 different creative writing courses that she's doing all year if you want to just sign up for like a short one instead of a full semester. But this literature survey, especially the semester-long program, has been such a blessing. And I know every time I share, I get comments from people who are saying that it's really blessed your middle schoolers as well. So I just think it's really great to have something geared toward their age. And it's been so nice for me to watch my kids do this program. It's been amazing. Next, something for mom. Papermate Flair pens. These are pricey, so I've always had a hard time saying, first of all, I feel like it's a very like mid-30s thing to have a favorite pen. I would hear people say like, oh, I just love this pen, and I'm like, that's weird, why do you love a pen so much? Guess what? I love this pen. I talk about these probably more often than I'd like to admit, but I just think it's cute. The other day I was talking to John while I was school planning, and I was just like, yeah, I really love these pens. The kids are always getting to these pens though, so I only had like 3 that I could use for my planner, and I like having colorful notes in my planner. And so he did the dance pickup that night for our daughter, and when I got out of the shower, these were sitting on our bed, and I would be lying if I didn't admit that I cried. I was like, you love me and you see me and you care about the things I care about. But mostly I was just happy that he like gave me permission to spend this much money on pens. Like, he made the purchase, so I don't feel so guilty about it, because they are pricey, but they're wonderful for a planner. So if you're about the age of 35 and you're looking for a pen to love these pens. And I think that this one is scented like Sunday brunch, so that's fun. You're never too old for a scented pen. So anyway, if you're looking for a pen to love, these are my favorite, just saying. All right, I'm on my last couple of things here. So my next favorite is this Tanner study, this picture study portfolio that Simply Charlotte Mason recently released. This was the very first thing I got my hands on when I went to the retreat this year. I just wanted to grab this in person. I'm really excited about this study. I was hoping that they would release this study soon, and so they did. They released it right before the retreat this year. Tanner is a great artist to bring into your homeschool. We're actually studying Malay this semester, and he was inspired by Malay in many ways, and so his story is really exciting. I'm actually doing this picture study with our co-op. That's another thing I'm leading with our co-op this year, and so we're kind of reading his story at the same time that we're reading about Malay at home. And similarly to Malay, he depicted his subjects in a more natural setting versus other artists at that time that were only doing, you know, these beautiful portraits showing royal life and things. So they're very humble portraits of home, and the kids have really been enjoying this. This has been a really wonderful study for us. Again, like, I'm just thrilled because this was an artist I was really wanting to do, and I was really glad that Simply Charlotte Mason decided to do a picture study portfolio on him. Have a little bit more Simply Charlotte Mason love going on here. So I finally made the investment in the scripture memory box. Smells so good. This was something I didn't want to make the investment in until I knew we could do it well. We've been using the scripture memory system in our evenings as a family. It's a wonderful way to memorize scripture. I will link Sonia Schaefer's video down below if you want. Okay, next I have a question for you guys. Would you guys like me to do a live lesson with the Simply Charlotte Mason Elementary Series Book 1? I recently shared a little bit about it in my day in the life as a way to kind of test the waters and see if there was an interest in doing a live lesson or a flip through. We're loving this math series. I'm using this for my youngest right now. She's my only one who's not old enough to use teaching textbooks. And I'm so thrilled with the way this is setting up her relationship with numbers. And I think it's going to be a great program for her to use until she's at that point. Loving it so very much. It is worth the investment in my opinion, as long as you have the time to sit down and do the lessons. This is in no way, shape, or form is this one that you can just like do casually. You need to be intentional with it. You've got a couple things to set up. The lessons themselves are not that long. They do not exhaust a child, but they do require a parent's attention versus just a workbook. So love that, and let me know if you guys want to see more about that, because we're super loving it. Last but not least, I have this as a visual reminder to share about the 5 in a row mini units. There is no Wee Gillis mini unit, but we just finished Wee Gillis last week with 5 in a row, and we're loving 5 in a row this year. I'm using it as my younger 2 kids core curriculum, but it reminded me about the mini units that they have on their website. Now that we're coming up to the holiday season, they have quite a few fun Thanksgiving units as well as some Christmas units. And so if you're wanting to try 5 in a row, I've been sharing a lot about them on, well, I've shared quite a bit here on YouTube recently because we went back to using it as our core for elementary school, but I've also been sharing quite a bit of it on Instagram. And so I think I'm going to be doing like a week of 5 in a row video soon, where I show you all the lessons as they unfold in the course of a week, so you get a visual of like what a full unit looks like. But if you want to sample one for yourself, they have mini units on their website that are $5 or $10. I think they're $10, and those also incorporate before 5 in a row and beyond 5 in a row. So those can be used for 2 through 12-year-olds, and there's different options for your kids' ages. So we like using some of those mini units during the holidays especially. So I just wanted to tell you guys about those because those are a favorite, especially upcoming holiday season stuff. So those are some of my homeschooling favorites as of late. I hope that gave you guys a wide range of things from the younger kids to the older kids if you're looking for something new in your homeschool. Thank you so much, WorldWatch, for partnering with me on today's video. Make sure you guys check out their link down in the description box down below. Let me know what some of your current favorites are in your homeschool in the comments down below, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.